What's up everybody, it's Drew Wilkins with Swine and Bovine Barbecue, and in this video we're reverse searing a bone-in ribeye. Let's get going. We have a beautiful bone-in ribeye, about 1.65 pounds of bone-in ribeye. Picked this up from Whole Food. I've had great results picking up steaks from them over the years. Have not had a bad one, always get great quality, and really their pricing is tough to beat. Nothing to do from a trim perspective on this bad boy, so now we're just going to simply season it. And not getting overly cute today, but switching it up from the norm. Usually when I cook a piece of meat this big, I will do an overnight salt brine. But yeah, that's great, produces a great crust, but we're going to switch it up today. We're going to go salt, pepper, and a little bit of Lowry's, and just let it kind of come up to room temp for probably 30 minutes to an hour before we grill it. So nothing overly fancy in the process or preparation of this one. So we're just going to go on with a decent amount of Diamond Crystal Kosher salt. Lowry's, of course, does have salt in it, so we're not going to go as heavy as we would if we were only doing a dry brine. This is Diamond Crystal Kosher salt. Looks like a lot right now. It's not as much as you think. Morton's table salt, go lighter. We're going to come over the top with some coarse black pepper, and then finish it with some Lowry's. This steak is looking good. Gonna have to let a little moisture come out on the sides to get some pepper to adhere, but we'll do that before we grill it. But for now, this is just gonna hang out room temperature inside until it's ready to grill. Since we're reverse searing our steak, I'm gonna monitor the internal temp with a temperature probe. I don't like having to open the grill, stick it with my thermopin, see where it is, put it down longer. I'd rather take the guesswork out of it, so we're gonna use our probe. So what I like to do is kind of find the middle spot closer to the bone on a bone-in ribeye than you would on another one. Just measure that, then we'll go right here on the side in the middle. And once our fingers hit the steak, we know we're ready. Our grill is cruising along. We're roughly 250-ish on the back area here. So again, reverse sear, so we're going indirect. Gonna put the steak just like this, and we'll shut it down, plug our probe in. We're cooking on the PK today. I absolutely love this grill. It's got a 2-zone setup. Most grills you can set up 2-zone, but this makes it super easy with its rectangle shape. So I have a kick ash basket in here, which makes it easy to reuse coals, also shake out the ash at the end. But we've got this set up for 2-zone cooking right now. So the coals are on this side. So there's a vent under here and a vent under here, much like the top vents. So this vent is closed. That way it brings air up, across, and out this vent that's open right here. So this vent's closed, this vent's closed. So it kind of mirrors an offset as far as the convective airflow in and out of the pit. You can get great color cooking on one of these things. They make a mean reverse seared steak. So that's why we're making it this way today. There's nothing to do now other than let this steak cook. We've got the probe set for 118 degrees. Once that starts chiming, we'll pull it, let it rest for a little bit, and then sear it. All right. Our steak has hit 118, feeling nice, looking okay. You know, we haven't seared it yet, so it's not gonna be the belle of the ball, but we're gonna let this rest for about 10-15 minutes, then we're gonna sear it. Our steak peaked at 129 degrees. It's fallen back down in temp, so we're ready to sear it. So we're gonna throw this on the grill, let it cook until it has a fantastic crust. Should not take very long. This steak is looking fantastic. We're pulling it, we'll eat soon. Our steak is looking good on the outside. Now it's time to see how it looks on the inside. Just gonna cut right along this bone here. And we'll go right down the middle. Oh baby, that's a rare plus medium rare steak if I've ever seen it. and I am pretty happy about that. This is looking great. Feels like we got a great crust to it. Some great pink. I'm not sure how well it's showing up with this light. Now that the sun is setting earlier, it makes it a little more difficult to try and get natural lighting. Very happy with how this turned out. So we're going to take off this ribeye cap here. We'll slice it. See how one of these are looking? Yeah, that's just tender and full of flavor. So get that right back there. And we'll slice the rest of this. That's kind of just a big old hunk of fat. It's kind of what burned up a little bit on us during the sear process. And there we go. Got a nice looking steak, good crust, perfect medium rare. Let's dig in. It is time to dig in, and I'm really excited about this steak. I've been going with salt brines for quite some time, which is salting overnight, then cooking with salt, maybe adding a little bit of garlic or pepper to the finished product. But this is the first time I've cooked a steak with an actual seasoning on it other than salt. So we've got pepper, we've got some Lowry's on this in quite some time. While a salt brine steak is delicious, it's fun to mix it up. It's fun to go outside the box. And if you decide you want a steak at 4 p.m., you don't have time for a salt brine. So this is a fantastic alternative. I'm going in for a nice tender piece of this ribeye cap. Cheers. Wow. That is so unbelievably good. Quality piece of meat, salt, pepper, a little bit of Lowry's if you want it. If you don't like that, just throw a little garlic powder on it, or just leave it at salt and pepper, charcoal, and you've got a fantastic steak. You could have thrown a wood chunk in there if you wanted a little smoke flavor. I didn't. Sometimes I don't want smoke on things. This is one of them. I prefer my steaks typically not to be smoked. Now I do love a smoked and seared tomahawk. Probably coming to a video near you soon. But this is just unbelievably good. Going for one of these other end bites. It's not a ribeye cap. It's unreal good. It's got a great crust, great crunchiness to it. Nothing's burned on it. This little hunk of fat that's over here to the side did get a little crispy during the searing process, but that's going to happen. Fat burns quicker than meat. There is nothing to dislike about this steak. It's got a perfect amount of salt on it. It's got a great pepper bite to it, and it's just full of flavor, and it's perfectly tender. It's cooked just how I like it. I can't recommend cooking a steak this way enough. It's not a novel concept. People have been reverse searing steaks on a charcoal grill for a long time now. This is how I like to do it when I do it. I don't do it often enough. I cook on the yakitori, or I do other things that are directly over the coals for longer periods of time. But just, it's not the easy button, but it kind of is the easy button to an extent. Just put a probe in your steak, set it on there. Once the notification goes off, pull it, let it sit until the temperature starts dropping from its peak. Not from where you set the probe, because it carried over. Again, this steak carried over to 129 degrees, and we pulled it right. By the time I pulled it and did the filming, it was about 123. When I went over to do it, it was 118, so it started climbing pretty quickly, but carried over for 6 degrees and then started coming down. It was about 126 when we put it back on the grill. Perfect medium rare or rare plus. It's kind of tough to tell when I'm staring into this light. This is a phenomenal steak. Better than probably anything that you'll get at a steakhouse, and cost a hell of a lot less than what you'd get at a steakhouse too. So that's gonna do it for this one. Can't recommend this enough. Give it a shot. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you wanna see more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button. And if you have any suggestions on what you wanna see me cook next, or how you like to cook a steak, please leave it in the comments down below. But as always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.